Guys, make sure you follow me everywhere, even off of here, because I know eventually I'm going to get banned because I just have to speak to you guys raw and real and keep it 100 like I did in the video that went viral that everybody's talking about, like you acted just like your parents. There's a reason why. Let me tell you how that came about. That whole you acted just like your parents when he asked why do black Gen Xers act the way we do, right? That is a tactic that the larger community likes to use against black people to put you on the defense, to defend, it's called gaslighting, right? So to defend the things that they're doing to you, it puts you on the defense to have to explain it instead of saying, hey, what you're doing to me is hurting me and, you know, I don't like it. You know, they don't want to hear that you don't like it. There's a quote that I love. I used to keep this at work when work would get really crazy and you had bad management, which is the beatings will continue until morale improves. The beatings will continue until morale improves. And I have a feeling this is about to be a theme for at least these next 4 years, probably longer. But the reason why that video was done the way it was done, I was going to explain why we feel the way we do, but I heard a quote right before doing that just kept resonating with me and just kept resonating with me. And what it was that most people aren't anti-you, they're just pro-them. See, we think that people are hurting you because they want to hurt you. No, they're all about them. They hadn't thought about you. They don't care about you. They have no level of compassion. Compassion is when you can kind of put yourself in the other person's position, right? You have some level of empathy, and those things can be interchangeable, and there's a little slight difference, and I'm not going to go into all of that. But when you can put yourself into somebody else's position and you can feel what they feel, then that is true empathy, right? And some people don't have that capacity to do that. Like, they feel bad for you, but they can't put themselves in your position. When George Floyd died, I'm sorry, I'm not even going to say when he was unalived, because I get so sick of people saying that Dr. King died and all this stuff. No, these people were unalived, and we need to call it for what it is, because you don't get a pass for what has happened in history. Because when you don't know your history, you're very much doomed to repeat it, right? So I heard the quote that said, most people are anti-you, they're pro-them. And if you remind people of who they think they are in this world versus who they really are, how they're treating you, then you might be able to reach them in places that they can't hear you before. And this is a good rule of thumb for relationships. Like, if you remind people of the promise of who they think they are versus who they are showing themselves to be to you over and over and over again, if you just tell them you're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing this, they feel attacked and they shut down. They can't hear you. But if you remind them as to who they are, here's another great, I know I'm all over the place with this, but you know, you're just going to have to follow me because these are really great quotes. Another great quote, it's not even a quote, it's a story about there's an African village where when somebody does something wrong in that village, the community surrounds that person, and instead of telling that person what they did wrong and chastising and browbeating that person, they remind that person of all the good things that they've done, and they remind them that they're a good person, and they, you know, just constantly tell them how good they are. If you look at things from that perspective, people don't have their defenses up. And when their defenses are up, they can't hear you. But if the defenses are down, you might be able to reach them in a place that matters. So I hope that you get something out of this video. But I think it's so important for us to remind people that there is good in everyone. Another one of my favorite quotes is from Anne Frank. Loved her, in the sense that out of everything in this world, and we're kind of at this point again, out of everything in this world and how cruel and evil people can be, the reason why that book is so prolific is because of her heart in the midst of chaos. And one of the things she said And I'm paraphrasing because it's been years since I've read it, since I was a kid, but I just remember, like, all in all, I think there's some good in everyone. I just remember that being a theme that she felt in her heart. And all in all, I feel that too. The little kid in me still feels that there's some good in everyone, but we have to remind people of the good that they said that they are, or who they want to be in this world, and not get caught up into the parade of evil and atrocity, which is where we're headed. So hopefully people will course correct themselves, but even if they don't course correct themselves, make sure you course correct yourself and you do the right thing and stay in good community with good people who remind you of what a great person you are, and let's build each other up to be better. Not passive though. Build each other up to be better proactively. All right, toodles.